Hi, this is Arne Grinsted from PowerMedic Lasers in the United States. I'm here today with my dad, Arne Grinsted, who founded PowerMedic Lasers and our headquarters, PowerMedic, which is located in Denmark. We're here today to talk a little bit about the philosophy behind the company and the products. So you're an electronic engineer by trade. What inspired you to get involved with laser therapy and start your own company?
Well, from my very childhood, I always had this urge to help people when they complained about some pain, some discomfort. And this interest has been with me all the time, even though I chose to become an electronic engineer. And at the point where I started the company, I got the opportunity to combine these two interests. So technology and helping people to a better life.
Could you give a brief description of how laser therapy works?
Well, very briefly, laser therapy works by giving energy to the cells, and each of these cells is like a little engine. And like any other engine, it needs fuel to be able to function and do whatever it's supposed to do. The fuel is called ATP, which is a chemical compound that is produced by the so-called mitochondria inside the cells. Turns out that whenever there's a problem, whether it's an acute sports injury or more chronic situation, any situation will be characterized by the fact that there's too little energy in the cells. So in other words, there is too little ATP or too little fuel in the cells. The laser light will penetrate deep into the tissue and into the cells and stimulate the mitochondria inside the cells to produce more ATP. So when you put laser therapy on some area of the body, it's equivalent to putting fuel into all the cells that are involved in that problem.
Your mission statement is to help people and animals to a better life.
Yeah.
Could you share with us a couple of examples of how people's or animals' lives have improved through treatments with your lasers?
Well, there was a friend of mine a couple of years back. He was an avid handball player, but he had a ruptured ligament. It had healed up, but with some scar tissue, there was a lump of scar tissue on the ligament, creating pain and discomfort and swelling and irritation every time he tried to even run. So he had to stop everything because he couldn't bear it. So I started treating this. It was on the side of his foot, a tendon here, and I could feel this little lump of scar tissue. So I gave him 3 or 4 treatments with the laser. And for each time I treated it, I could feel this little lump became smaller and smaller. And after the last treatment, I couldn't find it at all. I couldn't locate it. It was like gone. And at the same time, he went running, he went playing handball, and he was happy.
When you talk about your lasers, you often mention no nonsense. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that a very important part of my design philosophy is that less is more. So I go through I have this in the back of my mind all the time when I design, but at the end, when I have a finished draft of a design, I'll look at it and I'll say, do we need this, and do we need this? And if we don't need it, if it does not add any value, we'll just strip it away.
Your lasers include the family of power lasers and then the Giggle Laser.
Yep.
What makes the power lasers different from other lasers on the market, and what are some of the benefits to the practitioner and the patient?
Well, the power laser series as we have here is extremely compact. So it's all contained here. There's no basic unit, there's no cable, and everything you need to control, you can do it here on this touch panel. You can select output power and exposure time and all that. And at the same time, it's extremely powerful. So it's one of the most powerful lasers, if not the most powerful handheld battery-operated laser that you can just stick in your pocket and take anywhere in your clinic if you have different treatment rooms, or on house calls if you're going out to visit, or if you're a vet, you're going out to look at some horse or anything like that.
What makes the Giggle Laser different from other lasers on the market, and what are some of the benefits to the practitioner and the patient using the Giggle Laser?
So the thing with the Giggle Laser, it's a stationary unit, and we can treat the half of your back. We can treat a whole knee. After a knee surgery or after some sports injury, and if you sprained your ankle, you can just put the Giggle Laser on, adjust the screen so it will kind of enclose the area where the problem is. And you select the program, you push the start button, and it will do the rest for you, and you can go and do something else.
What role would you like to see PowerMedic lasers or laser therapy in general play in the future?
Well, I hope to see laser therapy, and we are well on the way to that, but see it even more accepted and becoming a natural part of medicine and any treatment, where laser therapy would be the first option before you start to cut people, before you start putting any kind of drugs or medications into them. Because we have seen, thousands of miracles with laser therapy. So it has its place, and it should be given a chance before you do the other things.
Great. Well, I think that sounds like a very worthy goal, and we look forward to hearing more about that. So thank you very much for your time.
Been a pleasure.